Hello everybody, John Spalsato here, Remax Arizona Home Group. Thanks for checking in on behalf of Sharon Caffini and Melanie Didier, Terry Robinson, Dawn Langston, Trish and Diane. Thanks for tuning in for November. Hope you guys got some big holiday plans next week with your friends and family. But let's talk a little bit about the market because that's what we're here about, and let's talk a little bit about the riddle that's been going on for the month of October. As we talked in the past, typical patterns are going to be the increased inventory, right? Houses are going to come on the market as we head into the snowbird season. That's the typical pattern. Last month we talked about a crisscross, though, where we saw less homes going under contract than typical, and that was causing a crisscross. The result has been actually that closings were down for the month of October, just 6,300 closings, which is actually down 9% month over month. So the question is, why was that happening? Was it, because this is untypical of what's going on in the market when things tend to pick up as we head out of September into October and head into the holiday season. Well, what seems to have happened is a backlash from something called TRID. And TRID is an industry rule that went into place for mortgage lending. And this has been coming down the road now since the springtime. And a lot of borrowers and lenders and title companies knew that this was coming. There was going to be a lot of changes in place. TRID stands for the TRID-DLE, which is the Truth in Lending, and the RESPA, Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, Integrated Disclosures, TRID. It's a very long, complicated word, which basically is a result of the Dodd-Frank Act that was passed in 2010, which is for consumer protection for buyers. There was a lot of predatory lending and subprime loans that were going on in the first part of the 2000s. It led to the housing bubble. So this has been implemented to provide a little bit more disclosure, a little more transparency, so that buyers are not deceived. A couple things that have happened is the original two documents have been changed. In the beginning, there was a good faith estimate that you would get when you go talk to a lender, and you'd get pre-qualified, and he'd quote you a rate and show you your closing costs. That good faith estimate has now been replaced with something called the loan disclosure form. Okay, see the word disclosure in there? So the loan disclosure form is a lot clearer for people, all right? And then the second form, which was at closing, there was a settlement statement or a HUD-1, and that's now been called the closing disclosure form. Loan disclosure, closing disclosure, the beginning and the end. And these have to stay consistent throughout the transaction, okay? But at the end, in addition to the new closing disclosure form, there's delivery times and waiting periods that were built into the back end towards the end of the closing. And that's what people are most afraid of. They were thinking that a typical 30-day closing was going to become 45 to 60 days. No one knew if the lenders or the title companies or the realtors could get these procedures down. And it was a big question mark. And I think what happened was a lot of lenders who had borrowers and realtors who were working with buyers were sort of getting people into houses before October 3rd when this went into place. So we saw an increased activity in August, which is more than normal, in September, but then all of a sudden, whoop, it just dropped off in October because they didn't want to get stuck in this whole TRID nightmare of not knowing what's been going on. So now that we've sort of gone through the month and a half, 6 weeks of this, and we've seen that, okay, it's really not the end of the world, and we can actually end up closing loans if you've got a good lender, a good real estate agent, and a good title company working together. 30 to 35 days is still the norm, and nothing is going to change dramatically. And it's all going to be a win-win because the consumer and the borrower is going to have full disclosure and see the numbers, and we're still going to be able to close in a normal amount of time. So as a result, look at this. Boom. All of a sudden in the last week and a half, sudden spike up in activity. These are listings that gone under contract. You can see we went down through September and October, which was unusual. Then boom, all of a sudden we're up for the last week and a half. And you look at this other graph, that's actually up 30% year over year from this week last year. It's amazing. So all of a sudden, that whole TRID thing is off the table, and people realize now it's time to jump in and buy a house. There's lots of inventory out there, so let's go out and take a look at what's out there. And that's actually contrary to a typical pattern, which is once we get towards Thanksgiving and into Christmas, things tend to slow down a little bit after a busy September and October. So it's going to be interesting to see how things pan out for the month of November and December as we head into the holidays. I think it's going to be good because if you look at what's going on nationally, we had a really good jobs report a couple of weeks ago. Durable goods are doing really well. Automobile sales are up across the country. Consumer confidence is really good. And here's a great graph here that I've showed you, which is showing household formation. Household formation in 2015 is 1.7 new homes being formed. Okay, people who are buying homes, starting new homes. That's a million over where we were in 2014 and 2013, and we're at 2.1 million in 2005 at the top of the market. So that speaks to how things are going on a national level. Things are feeling really good, and so that's possibly why the Fed may raise the interest rates in December, as they've talked a little bit. But right now, interest rates are still under 4%. They've gone up a little bit in the last week or two, but you're still 3.9% for a 30-year fixed rate. It's a great time to be out buying a home if you're a buyer out there. Lock in on that 30-year fixed. If it goes up another half a point or a point, you're talking about a few $100s a month on your mortgage payment, and that can change everything on the size of the house that you can qualify for. So if you've got some interest in jumping in the market, give us a call. We can give you a lender to talk to, get yourself pre-qualified. We can start searching for homes and narrowing in on neighborhoods that are going to be good for resale. That's very important. Don't forget that. So where are we with prices? Okay, here's our median sales price across the Phoenix metro area is $267,500. The median sales price is $213,000 across the Phoenix metro area. Now, sales price is up 7.9% year over year. Median sales price is up over 10% year over year. So this is all really good news for sellers. But one caveat with that is I want to talk to you about how these are averages across the Phoenix metro area, from the low-end distressed properties to the multi-million-dollar luxury homes. This is averages. Every neighborhood is different. Every city is different. Zip code's different. You have to know what's going on right in your neighborhood. You need to have a neighborhood expert to tell you what's going on. You can't look 5 miles down the road. You can't look across town what's going on. You have to look at what's going on in your neighborhood, and we're here to help you. Give us a call. We'll show you what's going on exactly in your neighborhood, what is sold in the last 30 to 60 days. We can give you a really good idea of what we can sell your home for. We can also give you what's called a net sheet. This is the total breakdown in closing costs and tax prorations, and this is going to show you what you're going to put into your pocket when everything is said and done. What we can do to help increase that bottom dollar is to look at your house and say, okay, what are some slight little easy things that we can do to make the house show better and sell faster for more money? Maybe doing a little bit of paint, a little bit of touch-up, maybe some staging, opening things up a little bit. You'd be surprised at what a half hour in the house can give you as far as insights and these things that you can work on if you're thinking about going on the market. You don't have to go on the market today. If you're thinking about going on the market in the springtime, now's the time to start. Let's start to get your ducks in a row. Let's come up with a plan on how we can get you top dollar in the quickest amount of time as we head into the holiday season. All right? Down below, we got a couple of buttons as usual. We got the buyer MLS for anyone who wants to search the MLS and see what's out there, check out houses in certain neighborhoods if you're looking to buy. If you're a seller and want to have a quick ballpark idea of what homes are going into in your area, just to kind of see if it's even in the ballpark, click the button, put in your address, and this will show you what homes are selling for to give you an automatic email report sent right to your inbox. All right, these are great buttons here to help you guys get started. If you want some more information or some more detail, would like to set up an appointment, give us a call, 602-571-3730, john@arizonahomegroup.com. We're looking forward to helping you guys. Have a great Thanksgiving holiday, and we'll talk to you next month.